Joy. What exactly is joy? To be happy, to be content. Well, for me, joy, my greatest joy, it comes from knowing who I am, what God expects of me, which is nothing. To enjoy my relationship with the Heavenly Father, to understand the gospel, the message, to understand what Jesus was teaching, to understand what Paul was talking about throughout the New Testament, to understand the good news, why it was called the good news. If there's not any good news in the message you're hearing about the gospel, it's not the gospel. The gospel is only good news. The true message of the gospel brings such joy and freedom to learn who you are. It brings such joy. It bubbles forth just like a artesian well. It comes forth without any effort, no pumping required, no working it up. You dig an artesian well, the water flows forth all by itself. No assistance required, no input of energy from any outside source. The artesian well, it flows all by itself. So, with our joy, it comes forth. There's no containing it, no directing it, no controlling it. It comes forth on its own. That's joy. All by itself. You see? You can't help it out. If you tried helping it out, you would be hindering it. Joy, the artesian well of happiness. You know? Now, our happiness and our joy is not based on our current circumstances. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. You have inner joy, inner peace. You know who you are. You have a job description. It's to be happy. Your job description is to love. It's not a doing, it's a being. Be joyful, be happy, be merry. It's just that simple. It's not about a lot of doing. There is no doing. It's only being. For me, and I'm talking about myself here, being happy, being joyful. It's the joy of the Lord. Understanding what He was saying. Knowing who I am. Knowing God's personal thoughts about me. That will create a lot of joy in your life. If you understand that God is completely happy with you. He not only loves you, He likes you. And this is important because there are people in your life that I know you love, but you can't stand to be around. You have some family members that just, you cannot stand to be around. And you love them, but you really don't like them. Well, God likes you. See, He loves you, but He also likes you. He's pleased with you. Yeah, He's pleased with you. Just the way you are, just where you are, how you are. He's completely satisfied with you. I'm satisfied with God. He's satisfied with me. We're satisfied with the finished works of the cross of what Jesus did. Oh, the message of the gospel is the good news. It's something to be happy about. It's the one thing in our lives that we can boast about. It's what Jesus did on the cross. It's the one area of boasting that's correct. We can boast. And what Jesus did. We didn't do anything. We did zippo. But we get to enjoy. We get to feast on this. And this brings great joy. And Paul understood this. Think about all that Paul did in his life before his transformation on the road to Damascus when he was Saul. Think about his past, what he went through, what he did, and he believed he was right. And then his transformation took place. He was so happy. He was so full of joy. He realized that his past was forgiven. There was no record of it. That brought great joy. He never lost one night's sleep over his past. He knew he was completely forgiven. More than forgiven, the past was erased. And he understood this. That's why he could boldly proclaim, I've wronged no man. Paul said that. He understood it. I've wronged no man. But we know, because it's recorded, his history. But in God's eyes, he had no prior history. He was a walking artesian well. He was happy. Even when he was in prison. That's when he wrote some of the most amazing parts of the New Testament. He was in prison. He had just been beaten. He had just been shipwrecked. Again and again. He was beaten again. He was in prison again. Left to starve in prison. Beaten again. Paul really had a rough time. But he had joy and he was happy. And he wrote so much of the New Testament. And you can read this in his writings. He was happy, full of joy. Ah, oh, Paul. What a role model. He was killed once, resurrected. Ah, happy resurrection. So thankful for what Paul wrote. And it's so crystal clear. So our lives are supposed to be happy, joyful. Be happy. Be happy. I love that song because that's just the way it is. And you know you're really getting close to that point when you're just so full of joy that occasionally you'll run across somebody and they'll say, this can't be authentic. There's something phony about this individual because nobody can be that happy all the time. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can be. You will be. You're supposed to be happy, happy, happy all the time. And there's no working it up. This is just the way it is. This is the lifestyle. This is the New Testament. This is the life of the new creation. Happy, happy, happy. I can't say that enough. It's just the way it is. It's the way it's supposed to be. It's the way we're designed, created, made. Joy. Joy, joy, joy. I got the joy, 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 joy. Yeah, remember that song? Yeah, that's just it. You know? Yeah, occasionally you might have circumstances, but that doesn't affect your joy level. It's always full at the top. The artesian well, effortlessly flowing. It flows up out of you, through you, out of your belly. Rivers will flow. I'm thinking those rivers are powered by an artesian well or two because it flows all the time, no matter what's going on. Don't invite me to a funeral. I'll be the guy laughing, having a good time, because I know where that person's spirit is returning to above. Yeah, I might miss them here on earth, but I am so happy because I know where they're going. I know where everybody's spirit's going. They're returning to above. You return to where you came from. That's happy, happy, happy. Alright, that's enough for now. Love you guys. Be happy. Bye.